Good morning, everybody, and welcome, Tom Gillis.
What's up, my friend? Good morning. Bright and early.
Crazy stuff. It is bright and early. Yeah. I was with the expert last night and ball storm, and might have stayed up just a little late.
Really? The men's show. I
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah.
The men's
It's
show.
always a
That's
blast.
something new?
It's something that experts sort of came up with and just said, hey, why don't we do something where we just go to each other's channels, go around a little bit, and just have a little bit of fun for one night.
I love
Because
it.
we hardly ever see each other.
True. Invite me next time. I'll love to do that.
Weird. Yeah, it's
You know what I mean? Yeah.
funky. But yeah, so Tom Gillis, golf pro. The thing is I had to go back and I'm just sitting there going, okay, so what exactly does a golf pro do?
Nothing really. Just
they play
just golf
golf
all day and party. No. That's
So
it. Go to the beach, party, get a tan.
So you give lessons and all that too?
So yeah, I mean, I don't compete anymore. Too old, but yeah. So I run the club tournaments. My main thing is giving lessons and helping people out. Obviously, Tom Gillis Golf Instruction, but I sell socks to old ladies and hats to young kids. Whatever we got to do to run the country club,
Hey, exactly.
But
Well,
the golf instruction is my thing. That's what I like to do.
Well, it does keep you with a piano too.
Way to go! There it is. Yeah, that's more for just to show that I'm well-rounded.
Yeah, exactly. So what have you been up to lately? See that you got a bandage on your neck there. Vampire attack you?
Did it what?
The vampire attack you?
I've got bandages everywhere. No, I have a issue.
Okay.
That I cut myself shaving, I guess.
Well, I did that. I shaved last night myself, and I managed to trim it all up right down through here. I was like, oh, great, big rash.
I didn't think that was visible, but I guess it is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, no worries. That's all good. It's all good.
Yes. So usually in the mornings, I pull up a bunch of different news and comment on it. And today being the debate, which is going to be, I'm sure. What are you expecting to see tonight come out of all of that?
Oh, just a bloodbath. Yeah. I mean, she can't complete I can't either, but I'm not running for president. But she can't complete a sentence. Has no clue. He's just going to destroy her. It's going to be that. It's going to be. You have to watch it. Must see television. So you're going to cover it live?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll cover it live and
wow.
probably have a couple of guests that'll be coming by and just making fun of the whole damn thing.
Yeah, she's in over her head. I mean, the other guy is too, but I'm going to miss him. Those dumb comments and the stupid looks and the walking the wrong way. I mean, it's just comedy. But even before him, Trump was awesome to watch. I love the way he's like football, like Belichick and Bill Parcells. These guys, they didn't give a shit. They just said what they meant, which they should have to say. That's what I love about Belichick, and they just say whatever they feel. They don't say the company line and blah blah blah. So
I
he's over her head and he's just going to destroy it.
When I pointed out yesterday, one of the things I think that is impressive with him is his outlook on things really hasn't changed from the time that he first ran to now. I mean, he's pretty much remained exactly the same as he was. Maybe slowed down a little bit, but chooses his words a little bit more. He does tone it down, and I think that's just because he can be really bombastic. But it's watching how Camel Toe is. She just goes from one tone to another and gets she's like, oh well, I've got and here I am in the South, so now I got to talk like I'm country.
Right.
It's just come on.
Right. and the cloud is up here and all that shit. And,
God.
yeah, it is. He was must see TV before her, but yeah, he's trying to calm down, but he can't because that's who he is. You have like me. I just say shit. I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings, and I'm not a
No.
douchebag. I'm just making jokes, but he just says it, and that's what's so great about it. No bullshit.
Yeah.
Just say it,
Yeah.
and you get in
You know,
trouble
he
sometimes.
says the quiet part out loud, the stuff that everyone's going, "Oh, I can't say that. What will they think of me?"
Right,
Trump is like, "I don't
exactly.
care what they think of me. They hate me already, so it doesn't
And
matter."
he's he's been like that forever. So on the golf part of it, you know who Bryson DeChambeau is? You probably know him, golfer. So
I've heard the name, yeah.
he's a bigger, famous golfer, young, probably 30 years old, maybe not even, but he's doing a lot of YouTube stuff now, right? So he'll bring celebrities out with him and play golf and talk, and they're riding in a cart. So the one with him and Trump, I think it's called Break 50, Bryson DeChambeau, Donald Trump, and they're riding in the cart, and it's all film, not just the golf, but they're talking about politics and environment. The guy is pretty sharp if you listen to it. If you're not a golf fan, still go watch it and listen to it because the guy
Yeah.
about buying land, you know what I mean? The guy's sharp. Because people don't think he is, but he really is, and
Oh,
not just golf. Obviously, golf. Who cares? But
well, and it
tonight
and
is
I
fun.
think that was something that always was because you tend to think of Donald Trump as a billionaire, you know, building mogul, and did the Celebrity Apprentice, and businessman. You don't think of him as no, he's a builder. Like he is someone that looked at property and said, "I'm going to build something there, or I'm going
Yep.
to buy this building and I'm going to do something with it,"
Right.
and came in and said, "Hey, this is how you make money. If you want to make money, this is how you have to do it. It's going to cost you, but you have to. This is the price you have to pay if you want to. Ride with the big dogs."
Right. No, for sure. He's a smart man. He built a couple courses in Scotland or over there. I'm not sure. The United Kingdom. I don't know what the fuck it is, but he made them look like they've been there for 200 years too. It was pretty good stuff because you can't. You go into the old time Scotland golf courses that have been there for 200 years. You build
Yeah,
something new. You got to make it seamless, and that's what he did. He made it look like it belongs there. So it doesn't look like it's a 2025 course or whatever it is. It doesn't stand out. It looks like it's been there for 100 years, and that's what all the Scottish or Irish people, whatever, were mad about. They thought he was going to come in and make it a big Trump Tower and his name everywhere and all that. It is called Trump something or other, but still, it's not. It's not like
yeah.
a zip on my nose or something standing out. It just blends in seamlessly because the guy gets it.
And he just gives kudos wherever he goes. I mean, I've heard of whenever people say that they've met him that he's just absolutely one of the nicest people, like very giving of his time and money. It's just that's
He is,
just the way he
and you
is.
don't hear about a lot of it. A lot of it you do because that's what he does, but a lot of it you don't. Silent stuff. And I played golf with him in the '90s a bunch of times. Rush Limbaugh, I played with all the big shots, the Republican big shots.
So
And he was great.
how is Trump compared to Rush in golf?
And golf, oh, Rush sucked. Yeah, Rush was horrible, horrible. Tiger. Trump's pretty good. He is. He's pretty good. He really is. Now this was in the '90s, so what's that? 25. Let me do my math. 25. Say 35 years ago. So that makes him what? 50ish, 45ish. When I met him, yeah,
Yeah,
he was pretty good, and he was just a regular guy. He did again. He
yeah,
wasn't
you
super famous like he is now. Then he was still famous,
right.
but he'd just walk around the course like just any other person, and he was great to me. Rush Limbaugh was fantastic to me. I mean, crazy nice. And everyone hates these people, and they're nice guys, but they're doing their thing, you know.
Yeah, it's been that's the thing is I've talked with people. They're just like, oh well, there's everybody is they put on this facade of who they are, and I'm just like,
Correct.
well, yeah, up to a point, but also you'd be surprised at if you met like Biden, you probably would go, yeah, the guy's not too bad. I mean, his policies suck, but he's really not a bad person. You don't get to be a
Correct.
politician by being like this evil creature, you know.
No doubt. No doubt.
you
No, they're
you
not.
get there by
Most of it is a facade. Even with Rush Limbaugh and all his stuff, a lot of it's an act. Kind
yeah,
of like what I'm doing.
yeah,
It's an act. You say shit. but you have to, and then it's probably hard if everyone keeps telling you how wonderful you are your whole life and you're great and everything you do is it turns to gold, and you do get a little ego going too. Of course, you have to be at that level of fame, and in Rush's case, he's that's how he made his living, by yapping like we're doing here. And
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
went all in on what he did, and he believed it though. He really did believe it, because I spent a lot of time with him on the golf course, and this is 25 years ago, but he really believes it too. And all his crony buddies, and what was one of them was Alexander Haig. I played with him, and now he was a million, but same thing.
Yeah.
They really believe what they're saying, and they don't dislike these people as humans though. Maybe Kamala, but you know what I mean. They're all still
Nah.
buddies around Clinton. They really are.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't view them as someone that should any harm could come to them. Just that their politics suck, and just
Correct.
avoid them because of their politics, not because they're evil people. No.
And there's only
And
two choices, right? You get Republican.
yeah.
There's only two choices. There's not 50 choices, so you got to pick a side, right? If you want to get into
Well,
politics, and Trump's running, you can't. No one's going to run against him, right? There's only two teams playing,
yeah,
so you got.
yeah, it's not like golf where you can, watch everybody have a good game.
Right, right. Yeah, in golf, like when I played pro golf, you win. You don't have to win to make money. And you can come in hundredths and
Right.
still make some money. In this, you can't. You
As
got to
long as
win
you're
or
there.
you're out. True.
So
Getting there is the hard
who's
part.
who's some of the up and coming golfers that you're enjoying a lot?
Up and coming golfers. Let's see. There's a kid from now. It's hard to say his last name because I think he's Swedish, and it's spelled Aberg, but the A has like an O on top of it with like a line or something. So
Okay.
I would call him Ludwig Aberg. Some people call him Oberg. It's just weird, but he's probably 21, European, Swedish, Scottish. He's amazing. There's a whole bunch of them. The
Nice.
things have changed. I've been doing it. Everybody's in shape now. They eat. They drink. I was drinking beers all day, and I never smoked or anything. But what I mean. We didn't work out, and we kind of had fun at night. Now it's such a huge business that now with social media, you can't get caught out with the wrong crowd or beers, or so it's so different. So these young kids, there's so many good ones coming up. It's really hard to and the money's bigger too. So when I was doing it, you didn't have any money. I mean, you had some money, of course, but again, it cost you a lot of money to play. So you had to win and do the right thing. Now they're making so much money off the course. Like this DeChambeau I was telling you about, he's got over
Yeah.
2 million subscribers in 3 months. Just crazy. And he
Jesus.
doesn't need the money. He's got a fortune. But in terms of the younger guys, there's a lot of Americans, which is nice to see. Not that I hate anyone else, but it's good to see Americans playing, the young kids. And the college program now is so much better than it used to be. It's really
Yeah.
hard to say who the
Just I
up and
mean,
coming many of
it's 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 like my grandfather back in the day. He played on farm league baseball, and
them. Right?
he got a invitation to play. I think it was for St. Louis Cardinals. Is it St. Louis Cardinals?
St. Louis
At the
Browns.
time, it was. I don't remember because
I think
this
they
would have
were
been back
Browns.
like in the 40s,
50s,
but
right?
it was
40s, yeah.
40s, yeah. Like right after he got back from the war, he got an offer to play for one of their minor league teams, which was just the
Right.
next step up. He said the amount of money
Mudhead.
he was just like, it was just nothing. There was no money there for it. Like you already had to have some money coming in because there was no way you were going to be making a living
Right.
off of it.
They didn't do it for money per se. You know what I mean? Like, say again, I live in Boston now. So Bobby Orr, a great hockey player, guy had a job in the summertime. You know what I mean? He
Hmm.
didn't. He literally had to get a job. Not just him. He was he was the best at the time, and I'm sure he made money with the local, clothier or whoever it was, the gas station or Joe's Ford. But still, they had to have jobs in the summertime, and the baseball players in the wintertime, and there just wasn't enough money. And then now
I,
it's ridiculous. I mean, the guy that won the most money this year, he made 62 million. Now that's a lot, but in reality,
yeah,
with others, it's really not a lot. And now he won by a mile. he obviously doesn't have to get
Jeez.
a job in the winter time or anything like that. But those guys had to get jobs and work, and I mean, he made like
So
500 times more than Jack Nicklaus made in his career. Think
wow.
about that. And Jack Nicklaus won
So
100 times.
how does a tour work? Is it where it's a tallied up over a period of time, sort of like Formula One, where you're sort of working on a point score?
Kinda, yeah. So the major leagues, the big leagues, are the PGA Tour. That's the biggest one. Then there's a bunch of minor leagues throughout the world, and you're always trying to get to the PGA Tour because that's where all the money is. So there's only 150 guys that make it every year. Well, let's say there's 200 because a lot of guys will skip weeks, so you feed them in and out. So let's just say there's 200. That's not a lot of people. 200. When you think about every football team has 70 guys on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and the better you do, the longer you stay. So when I did it, I was always doing bad. So I'm always struggling. And if I didn't finish in the top 125, you get kicked out till next year. You have to go try again and qualify again. It's really not easy. So that you're basically paid by performance, unless you're Tiger Woods because he's already done it. But someone like
Yeah.
me, it's always a struggle. It's always a struggle, and you don't have a guarantee to keep the job. So once you get there, there's no 5-year contract, for 100
Oh
million.
yeah.
No, you play, and if I play bad for a year, I'm out, literally out. And then I got to try to get back in. There's multiple ways to qualify. It's very complicated, but it's it is a pay for play thing, which I think is great. So if I could get $100 million contract on a baseball team and strike out 3 times every game, I'm still going to get paid.
Yeah.
My bills are paid by the club, the hotels. I had to pay every nickel: hotel, caddy, food, travel, flights, all came out of my check. So now if I go play and I miss the cut, I'm there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, signing autographs, entertaining people. Then I play Thursday, Friday, play poorly, trunk slammer. I don't make the cut. I make $0 gone, and it costs me 5 grand. And people don't
Oh
realize that these guys,
yeah.
the lower guys like me, it's costing you a fortune. If you don't do well, you're screwed. I did have
Yeah.
sponsors here and there. I mean, I'm not crying poor, trust me, but
No,
it's
no,
not
no.
not
It's
like
just one of those where you have to
guaranteed.
go. I got to get better.
Right, right. So and again, I had more fun during when it got dark out. To my demise in my career, I focused more on other things, I guess, and than
Well,
golf like I should have. Like now you won't see a guy doing anything crazy, and if you do, he's got a problem, a
yeah,
real problem.
like Tiger.
Feeling it. Right.
He got himself into some trouble not too long ago.
Well, a
Oh
guy who's
man.
fucked up so much in his life, off the course and with his wife and drugs and car crashes and arrests, people still love him. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh,
And women
he's
too.
an
I
amazing
mean,
golfer.
100% on the golf course, phenomenal. Off the golf course, guy you
Not
wouldn't
so
want to
much.
be around. No, you wouldn't want to be
Yeah.
around him. But hey, I'd trade with him, I guess. But maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. I guess I'm doing all right. But all that fame is tough too. All that fame, you can't do anything. You can't go to the store,
No.
can't go to the mall. You can't. I guess you can, but you get hounded, and then if you don't sign an autograph, you're a douchebag, and
Yeah.
who
I
knows?
mean, like being a musician is pretty much the same way where you are paying to play. I mean, you have to get your equipment, you have to get gigs, you have to
Right,
go where the people are going to be listening to you. You know, if you show up into some little town that has 500 people, your chances of drawing a crowd is going to be pretty low.
right, right,
Um, unless you just have a really big name already. Um, I mean,
right.
that was one of the reasons why I stopped playing music and doing the touring thing, because I toured for like 13 years, but it's the
Really?
same
Wow.
thing. You
Yeah.
play a gig on the weekend, and then all week long you're delivering pizzas or working in a wood shop or any work that you can possibly do. That's what people are like. Oh, you've done so many different things in your life. It's just like, yeah, I had to. Playing music does not pay the bills.
Right. No, but you loved it,
And then,
right? You loved doing it
oh,
and going to
exactly.
all the bars. So a friend of mine is still playing. It's a pretty popular band in the area, but small. Not he's not on TV
Yeah.
or nothing, but it's the same thing. So they're like in the minor leagues of of music. Like I was the minor leagues
Yeah.
of golf. I played a little bit, did okay, but you know what I mean? So you're still chasing it and you love doing it. And this guy loves doing it to whatever. He's 55, I guess now, but they still love to play and they go to basically the same bars, right? Or the same clubs. They
Yeah.
have a round that they do because people love them and they're good. Now, if they sucked, right, they wouldn't get called back, right? The guy that owns the club or the bar is going to call you up and say, listen, it's not working out because that means nobody wants to watch you, right? It's not that guy's problem. It's the crowd. Well, it's your problem, right? If you stink at it, or if I stink at it, no
Yeah.
one's going to watch me when I play golf, and no one's going to want to watch you, play the guitar. So it's pay for play, and unless you're, I'm sure Aerosmith can go play any bar they want in the world, right? They just show up and they're going to let them play. No, even if they're
Yeah.
75 years old, right?
Exactly.
We don't have
So
that luxury. That's like Tiger
Bob
Woods
Barker
of
was
golf.
Bob Barker was a good golfer.
Bob Barker was in Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
One, I don't know how good of a golf. He probably played golf. I would imagine if he was in the movie, they probably just wouldn't get someone that wasn't a golfer. But um, he got famously beaten up or he beat up Happy Gilmore. I can't remember. It's been a while, but
Oh yeah,
they got in a fight. Him and
ever-living snot out of him.
they got in a fight. Yeah, it was supposed to be. Who was it supposed to be? I forget. It wasn't. It was supposed to be someone else besides Bob Barker, but the guy didn't want to fight, so they didn't do it. I forget who it was. It might have been Trebek. I'm not sure, but they're actually making a
Oh,
Happy Gilmore 2 soon.
Yeah.
40
Yeah.
years later. Yeah, that goes.
The guy that plays Shooter McGavin, I forget his name. He's got his own little
Yes,
I think
he's
Twitter
on
handle.
Twitter as Shooter McGavin, right?
Yeah, and he always
Isn't
gives
he?
a
He's on
hard
Twitter
time.
yeah. And he's actually in the movie again. They're making it more woke too, if you know what I mean.
That
You'll see
doesn't
that.
seem like Adam Sandler.
No, you'll see it.
I think he was because he always made fun
You
of
have
that
no
crap.
choice. You have no choice. They won't. They won't. The unions won't let you do certain things without certain boxes checked anymore. They just won't do it. You have to have X amount of X, X amount of Y, X amount of Z. Whether it's behind the camera, in front of the camera, holding a fucking gaffer or grip, whatever it is, you have to have those. You do, whether they're
That
qualified or
just
not.
in
And that's the
Hollywood
problem with the
because
whole fucking world. Unqualified
yeah,
people doing a job from someone that's qualified, and that's what pisses me off about all this shit. If someone you're just checking off a box because they're whatever, rather than this guy can do it and he can't. That's
well,
kind of isn't that like the same thing, right?
yeah,
I'm picking this guy because he's this over you because he's that, but you're better.
yeah.
But
Well,
to me, that's
that
the same thing. It's just it's I don't know if it's not racism or whatever you want to call it, but it's like the opposite, right? It's weird.
yeah. Well, it's not giving. It's because of the beliefs. The Marxist beliefs is what causes that. You know, you've got to understand that it's not about ability. It for them, it's because they've people that act like that view you as an other. They don't view you as having any intelligence. No, you call just it. They view you as something less
Confidence,
than
right,
providence.
right,
There you
right.
go.
Confidence, yeah.
Um, and you know that. How do you think that it looks that you have a vice presidential candidate or a presidential candidate that nobody voted for, nobody primaried for, that nobody liked her whenever she first was on the stage? They didn't like what she had to say, that they
Right.
booed her off like repeatedly. And here she is running for president of the United States without ever having to do anything.
That's right. So she was appointed the nominee, right? Isn't there a voting
Yeah.
process you're supposed to go through? What about this? What about other people that wanted to run? They just say, "Too bad for you. You can't even do it." And
Well,
this
yeah.
now, what's up with the Kennedy feller? I am out of the loop a
Um,
little bit. He's supporting Trump. Is that accurate? Or
yeah.
am I wrong?
So was Tulsi Gabbard. Both of them.
Oh
They're
wow.
just. I was actually hoping that he would have selected Tulsi as a VP pick, which would have just
Yeah.
blew their minds. But
Right. That would have. So is Kennedy not running anymore? So was he the third guy? Now there's just two, right? So Kennedy's
Yeah,
not
there's
running
just two.
as an independent,
He's not running, but
excuse me, the Green Party or
they've
the
not taken him,
fucking
but they've not taken him off of the what is it, Michigan or something like that, Minnesota. They've kept him on the ballot, which is really sus. If they've kept him on the ballot, that means that they're hoping that those votes don't go to either Trump or
so
Kamala.
they're trying to deflect, right? Back with that, what was the guy, the little guy that talked funny back in the 90s?
Ross Perot.
That's the guy.
And
Hey,
Ross
everybody,
Perot.
that guy was when he took half the vote, right? So that screws the Republicans, that mostly, right? Because they're
Yeah.
more towards the other way, I think. The third guy's more towards the Democrats, right? Mostly. They're
Yeah,
not
RFK
leaning
was
that way.
much
They're taking
more.
away votes from ours, right?
Yeah, he was much more towards the Democrats in that
Right.
aspect. I mean, and then
Ralph
it's
Nader,
become one of
yeah,
those.
Ralph Nader.
Yeah, Ralph Nader. Oh my god, silly guy. I mean, even Jello Biafra ran. I think Jill Stein is running also, but she's only in certain states. Jill Stein, what a
What a waste of
idiot
money
she
that
is.
is, isn't it? I mean, for God's
It
sakes,
is.
what a waste of.
She runs the Green
I don't get
Party.
it. The
Yeah,
Green
he's
Party, yeah. What is that?
RFK is staying on the ballot in non-strategic states by his own choice. Other states keeping him on. I don't know about.
But why is he
No,
doing it? For
he's
what purpose? For the future? To get his name out there? What it just
I don't
what
know.
he's got zero chance.
Yeah, he's got
Literally,
absolutely zero chance of getting, because there's not enough states. He would have to have, I mean, at least, you know, a good percentage of each state just to even have a contender.
right.
Which I think it's a little weird that you have to have a certain amount of electoral votes, because then it lends it to only two candidates. Because
True.
what happens if they're saying that you have to have 240, or I think is what it is, something. So you have to have
Yeah.
240 electoral votes, and there's only 490. Then
Right.
what
Yeah.
what what what? Then nobody gets it.
No. No. I still think it's the right way to go, don't you? Though overall,
Yeah.
the way they're doing it.
Overall,
Yeah. Because
overall,
otherwise,
well,
all the
I
it's
think
all around the coast.
they should do
Are
it.
screwed.
I think they should do it like they used to, and that would be where they didn't always do it this way, but whereas the two people that were running, whoever ran became president, the other one became vice president.
Really? That I don't remember. Wow.
I think that
Yeah.
was that was just for a period of time,
Yeah. Yeah.
because the
That's
parties
nice.
were so close. Like the belief system was so close. It was
They're
just
opposite,
one.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. It,
Kind of.
well,
Kind of.
unless you're Republican, then it's then you got these rhinos out there. You don't see too many Dems that are like that, Democrat in name
No.
only. Yeah, they
It's funny
usually
where
go
I live.
independent.
Yeah. Right. Right. Where I live in the Boston area here, it's Democrat every time. But literally every person I talk to that I'm in contact with, and that's probably because of the people I hang out with or the circles I'm in. But again, I'm at a country club where it's not it's multi people, if you know what I mean, and
Yeah,
everybody's a Republican. Every person I talk to, there's just few. Obviously, like where are these Democrats? I don't understand it. How they, when Trump lost last time, I went to bed. I remember it was like 2 o'clock. He was winning by a mile. I get up in the morning, walk
yeah.
down the kitchen. My wife was there. I said, Trump. He goes, no, he lost. I go, what? What happened? Because when I went to bed at 2 o'clock, he was winning by a mile. And whatever happened
Oh
happened.
yeah.
And obviously
Well,
tricks are going. There has to be, because I don't know how that can
well.
happen. But again, we could be wrong.
When I showed this not too long ago with was it Rasperger, one of those, I think that's who it was talking about how in Georgia that he had 62% of the vote, and there was no possible way that he was going to, not that Trump was already so far in with like 98% in, and he had 62%. He was like, yeah, not even if not even if all the votes were counted and they all went to Biden, would there be any possible way that
Right.
he could win? And then within a short period of time, they're just like, oh yeah, won. Like, okay, that's weird.
Well, that's when I went to bed. I went to bed at 2-ish and woke up all excited, and she goes, "No, he lost." I go, "Say what?" I thought she was messing with me. It's like, "There's no way."
Well,
But
and you've heard heard the latest, right? So the latest is the Haitians. But I saw this here that says this egg salad machine. And this is even better. This is better than eating cats and dogs, at least.
Oh my god. Is that the voting machine now too? Holy
No,
shit.
no.
Look at that. That is disgusting.
This guy invaded an egg salad machine. I mean,
I'm throwing up in my throat right now a little bit. Oh my god. How gross that is. I've had an egg salad sandwich before, probably when I was 10. Ah! That's like that,
saving the cats from the Haitians. Oh my god.
I was looking for my cat. Show him he's a pussy. Come on, buddy. Put some glasses on. That's funny. So what's happening with the Haitians? What are they doing? They're making egg salad machines. What's going on?
Here, I'll show you. This lady was talking about it.
I'm done with what I'm seeing. It is so unsafe in my neighborhood anymore. I have the homeless that were trying to camp out, and
she could use some egg salad sandwiches. Jesus Christ, eat something.
Yeah, she could.
Keep them from trying
to
squat on my property. But it is so unsafe. I have men that cannot speak English in my front yard screaming at me, throwing mattresses in my front yard, throwing trash in my front yard. And I can't. Look at me. I weigh 95 pounds. I couldn't defend myself if I had to. My husband is elderly, and last night
eat something.
In this home for 45 years. He said, "Noelle, guess what? It's time to pack up and move." He said, "We can't do this anymore." He said, "It's killing both of us mentally." I don't understand.
Put a fence up.
Any respect of us as citizens. I mean,
that won't do any good.
I understand they're here under temporary
climb the fence.
You're protecting them, and I understand that. Our city services are.
Do you know where this is? What's Springfield? Is that?
Protecting us if we're protecting them.
Well, Springfield. That could be any state.
That's the Simpsons. That's a Simpsons character.
It is.
Shit, if she was more yellow and her hair was blue, she'd be perfect.
Oh yeah.
Springfield. Well, and I can't see it. But.
Yeah, it says City of Springfield.
Diverse crowd there.
Yeah, I mean, it's
people throwing mattresses in your yard.
Yeah, well, she's like, I'm elderly. My husband's elderly. I weigh 98 pounds, and where are we supposed to go? Because if they move, they have to sell their house. How are they going to sell their house if it's overrun by trash? Like nobody's going to want to move there, and so the property values go down. What happens if they do manage to sell it for pennies on the dollar? They get their happy asses out of there. Then the house gets completely ransacked, destroyed. They have squatters that move in. I mean, they're screwed.
Well, yeah, we're being overrun for sure, and that's the problem. And they're going to certain places that allow that. If you got nowhere to go, you're going to find a place to go. And the problem is they're just hopping the fence down in Texas or wherever the hell it is, Arizona, and just going wherever.
Arizona, Texas, right? California,
going wherever. And
it
coming to our neighborhood soon, people. They are.
Well, you like to think that it's going to at some point get better. I don't know even if Trump is elected, if he's going to be able to get control of it.
Slow it down, but that's about it. You're not going to stop it. It's not being stopped. There's probably money on both sides of it. I was in the mortgage business for a few years when I retired from playing golf. And I did a loan for people who had fake everything, literally fake.
Yep.
The people were dead. And I found this out doing their credit report or something. And then I got nervous. I got scared. I'm like, if these people know they're not legit, because they can't get a loan. You know, who knows
Yeah.
what they're going to do. I'm painting them with a brush because I think everybody who huffs the fence is a bad person because I'm a fucking moron. They're all not, obviously. But
No.
you never know. If someone has something to lose, you got nothing to lose, right? So I had to tell the guy, listen, Joe, your loan didn't go through, blah, blah, blah. And his big thing was he wanted his information back, all the paperwork he
Yeah.
gave me. So I didn't turn him in or something. And I didn't know what to do. I honestly was a little nervous. This is 20 years ago, but
Yeah.
I was like, hey, come, here's your paperwork. Why didn't it get approved? You're dead. You're not alive.
Yeah.
I never heard
You
from
don't
him
you
again.
don't exist.
They
mean,
paid X amount of money, $5,000, $10,000 for just a packet of a new identity from an
Yeah.
American person who died. These people were from, I don't know where they were from, but they were from south of here. And he had all the information. It was perfect. And I don't know how, I think the credit report or something I saw that he wasn't alive. I don't know what it was, but a red flag come up. And again, he was trying to get a mortgage. You know,
why don't we
and he-
see more coming from the north? Because I thought about this. Well, how hard would it be? How hard would it be just to run a fence all up the East Coast and just let Mexico have it? All the way up to Canada. Just let it go all the way up to Canada.
It's crazy.
How long do you think
because
that?
I think that's what they want, the color of the person too. The people coming from the north are like us, me and you, anyways.
Yeah.
Our tone
You-
when they come, and they should already be doing well for themselves, right? Because we have the white privilege and advantage our whole lives. Everything was handed to me. I didn't have to work for anything. You probably didn't either, right? No, of course
Yeah.
we didn't. We had to work our ass
course.
off. We still have
Yes.
to. I'm still doing all this shit, right? I got bills to pay,
Exactly.
people to feed. Fucking work my ass
Yeah,
off. It might be golf business, but I'm still working people. It's not, it's not. I don't play golf all day. I did, but that was still work. That was harder than this. This is way fucking easier than playing golf for money. Way easier.
Oh God, yeah.
But
Yes.
I did. I still work
Yeah.
my ass off. I'm still trying to make money. I'm still figuring shit out. So the people coming this way, oh, no, but they're coming this way. Oh, the poor people, and they are poor people, I guess. But just do it the
Well,
frickin' right way.
not once they get here, and it's not all of them, but there's quite a few of them that are being paid anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 a month, plus given housing, plus given clothes, and sure that
One for you, one for you.
yeah,
Where's
it's
that
just
line?
like as they're coming in and they're asking for asylum, and whenever they ask for asylum, they're just like, yeah, sure, we'll give it to you, no, not a problem, have it. I just
Yeah, just do it the right way. You know what I mean? And I was talking to a guy who, I don't know, he's Walgreens or something. He was from Africa, and he did it the right way. And he come over here. And this was 5 or 6 years ago when Trump was first running. Trump's no good. Trump's no good. Trump's no good. That's all I hear. And who would you run against? Hillary? Yeah. Trump's no good. Hillary. And I'm like, dude, do you understand? You did it the right way. How long did it take you to get to America? 12 years. I go, 12 years. Okay. These guys are doing it in 12 minutes and then getting handed everything. You're working Walgreens 60 hours a week to survive. And I changed one guy. He's like, I never thought it that way. Because all they do is tell them that Trump bad, evil, Republican bad, evil. They're trying to steal you for, exploit you. It's the opposite. The Democrats are exploiting them for their own benefit, and they don't know it. And this guy, that hit home with him when he said, "Oh, it cost me a lot of money, and I had to wait and take a test and whatever." And I'm an American citizen now. He earned it, which is fine.
Yeah, I mean, I had a friend of mine that came over from England, and his wife was and still is a immigration attorney. She deals a lot with Chinese and whatnot. Before they got married, she was just like, well, we could get married. You could have your green card in no time. He was like, nope, not how I'm doing it, because I want to do it because I want to be an American, not because I want to be here in America. I want to be an American.
Right. There's a huge difference right there.
Yes. And, it took him, 13 years?
Right. But he did it the right way. And that's what we want. We want Americans. So I remember my grandfather telling me the story. He came from Italy on a boat, a raft, whatever he was on. And he gets to America. They changed his name to John. His name was Abele or something wild. Changed his name to John. Said, you're going to be speaking English in 6 months, to functioning English in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
He had an American flag in his hand. I don't have one here, but a little American flag in his hand. And he became an American. He wasn't trying to turn this into where he came from or do anything like that. He wants to be an American and do what we have our values and do what we do, work hard, American dream, all that stuff, instead of being handed to you. And those, and he did. They changed his name literally when he got to New York. They literally changed his name. You're this now.
That's
and he wanted it.
With
he said, okay.
Yeah, my grandfather came over on a boat. This is on my mother's side. Came over on a boat in 1901. He was 4 years old, and they changed his last name, which was my great grandfather. I think my great grandmother wasn't on that trip initially, or she had passed before then. But they immigrated from Poland. Changed his last name because Polish names are really long with a ski or some crap like that at the end of it.
Wisnutsky.
This is just what Natsky. And it's just like they so they ended up in Chicago. And my grandfather, just did like bare knuckle boxing whenever he got older, because this is like the early 1900s. By the time he's 18, 1920, he's like bare knuckle boxing, and never was a famous boxer or anything, but had gone blind in one eye, can barely see out of the other. He had cauliflower ear, nose was all broken. It's just like, yeah,
right.
Oh yeah,
he did it for money, right? He did it for money, like just backstreet shit.
Did it for money, and then was a plumber by trade. I mean, that's how he retired as a plumber. Just just doing that. A different belief, different faith.
Right. But as Ballstorm says there, he's right. When people immigrated to America, they wanted to be Americans and assimilate.
Yeah.
And that now you drive around certain parts of cities where north of me here or whatever, all the cars, the mirrors, they have flags on them, right? And none of them are American flags. They're the place that they came from. And I'm all for loving where you come from. That's great. But you're not there anymore. You're here. And I don't get it. I mean, I play golf all around the world, and when you're in another country, when you can't speak their language, it sucks. I mean, Thailand, China, Japan. I mean, South Africa is easy, but it's like I hated it. I couldn't understand it, so I tried to learn the language the best in Thai. Right? I tried to learn it the best I could. Now it would be great having the tapes and all, but this was in the early '90s.
Right.
I would have loved to have known what and I tried. I didn't want to become a Thailand citizen or a Japanese citizen.
But you want to be able to say thank you in Thai, and
I wanted to learn where's the bathroom, how do you order me a beer, nice good morning, whatever, instead of because a lot of people did speak English, but I tried to learn it the best I could, but it did suck not knowing the language. And around in America now, Spanish is probably the number one language. Maybe I don't know, but I don't have time to learn Spanish, and I shouldn't have to. Unless I go
not in your own country. I mean, I tried almost every country that we've gone to. I try to get a little bit of the language. I mean, my wife and I have traveled to Italy and France, England, and probably do Spain at some point in time. But the one that I fear the most is Australian, because I'll never understand that fucking language.
Right. No. Hello, mate. I learned when in English over there. Hello, mate. Hello. That was easy. Yes. Just changing your accent. Thailand,
where's the bathroom?
I can say where's the bathroom, because how to get a beer and where's the bathroom, because all I did was drink Singha beer and have to go take a whiz all the time. So where's the bathroom? I learned that one quick. My address, I learned that. I did it. Donde está baño? That doesn't work in Thailand now, but
No.
but again, now I'm in a taxi cab. I'm on my first day in Bangkok. I don't know any idea what I'm doing, and I figured it out. But you know, I'm in a taxi cab. Who knows if he's driving me around in circles around my destination, Jack? And you know, I don't know. I'm sure it happens in America too, where they jam you. But
How many
you know,
lady
you want
boys
to learn
approached you there, Tom? How
my
many
lady
lady
boys.
boys
Oh, I
approached
got stories about that. I was an
you?
island off. Lady, there were ladies. So
I'm just
I only
imagining
stuck
the first.
blonde hair. This is a fact. Now I only stuck to blonde hair. I had Australians and Germans and Swedish. It had to be over 5'5" or I wouldn't talk to you.
There you
But
go.
blonde hair. But there's an island. There's still an island still there off of it, Thailand, Phuket. It's called. Fuck it, Phuket. And they were literally
Okay.
gangs of them. I mean, you go out to them and they're you don't know. I mean, you can tell, but it is creepy.
Yeah.
It is creepy, but it's wild over there. So
I can just imagine the first time you run across one, you're just like, wait a second.
I was young and exploring myself, exploring my sexuality.
Like,
It was
Oh my
creepy.
God.
But they are beautiful lady boys for sure. Cute.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. She's just like, oh yeah, you're so cute. Oh, it's just like, wait, you got.
Yeah,
what was
yeah,
that?
it was wild. I was there for 6 months twice in Asia in the early '90s, and the first month was fun, and then I just want to get the fuck out of there. There's no unleaded gas. It's pollution. It's a fucking million degrees every day, literally a million degrees. At noontime, if you're on the golf course, you're literally frying out there. It's crazy hot. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. I met some nice people. I'm still friends with today and played golf, and it was nice. I'm glad I did it for sure. But I wouldn't. When I got back to the United States the first time, I literally kissed the ground, like say, I'm never leaving here again, because it's my opinion. It sucks everywhere else than here. I'm sure there are nice places in the world and you can handle it all, but overall, it's not the place to be. I lived like a king over there too. Fancy hotel, had plenty of money, had everything I needed, and I couldn't wait to get the fuck out because it's not my country. Those people love it. Nothing that's their country. They can have it, do whatever they want. You know, but
because I've seen a lot of these passport bros that are just like, oh, I've got to, you know, I do it because it's so much more inexpensive, and I can meet up with women and blah blah blah. It's just like, well, okay, that like if you can't meet women here in the United States, you've got some serious problem.
100%. Then that's what. So the guy I went over there with, he actually passed away about 10 years ago. He was jilted by his wife. His wife was blonde-haired girl. Kicked him out, pound sand. So he moved over there. He went to play the Asian tour too. He stayed there because blonde women are all the devil now because of his wife, ex-wife, or what she was. They kicked him out. So he's heartbroken. He goes over there. You literally have to fight them off with sticks, the girls. I'm not shitting you. You have to have a golf club in your hand and beat them. They're grabbing your leg. Take me with. I'm not kidding you.
Take me home.
Take me with you. Because a lot of them live outside. I'm not kidding. They live outside because it never gets below 70 degrees there. And they live in these lean-tos. I'm not shitting you. Outside, families, groups of them in the woods or at the driving range, wherever. So they see someone who's doing better than them, I guess. An American or Australian, a non-Asian. I'm not kidding you. They're grabbing me and please take me with you. Take me with you. I clean for you. I do more for you too. But I'm like, and that's every day, because they live in the bushes and they eat pigeon. This is real shit. Not all of them, obviously, but it's a very poor country. The Thailand that I lived in, Bangkok. And you feel bad for these kids. They're kids. They're 20-year-old or younger, whatever they are, and they just want a better life. But yeah, if you need to get laid, this is the place to go. If you can't meet girls here, go absolutely go to Thailand.
Wicked Psych wants to know: are you related to sportscaster Don Gillis?
I am not. I have an Uncle Don, but I used to have an Uncle Don. But I am not. He is not related to me. But he was a Boston guy too, and my brothers always messed with me saying he was our uncle. So every time I saw him, I talked to him about candle pins for cash or whatever the fuck he was doing. And he's looking at me like I'm nuts, but no, he's not.
What are like your top golf courses? Are they in the United States, or are they like Scotland?
I don't really. Someone asked me that too. So when I play golf, I don't play for fun, kind of. I play for money. So I'm really.
Right.
And someone asked me this the other day. I really didn't appreciate it because you're just so focused on what you're doing, here to there, right? A to B, A to B, A to B. So you never looked around. I played Pebble Beach. I played Augusta. I played them all, and they're nice. But I never really. They were all nice. You know what I mean? I really don't have a favorite. It's now that I don't really.
Was there
play much
any that
anymore,
were a little bit easier to play, or that were you
oh
like,
sure,
oh,
oh yeah. Yeah, so all the ones you see on television, those are the toughest, usually the toughest in the country. And again, now their country clubs giving up their course for 2 weeks, and it's a big deal. So they're mostly private courses or owned by rich guys like Trump, owned by rich guys who can afford to give up a course for a week or so. But they're pretty tough. The courses are hard. So the average guy that can go play at his home course and do decent on the tour gets smoked. It's so much harder. It's crazy. So you look at it, you know much about golf, right? So you get a tennis court, it's the same every time. Here's my tennis court, right? My wallet tennis court. So you're going back and forth. It's the same. Now, the surface might be different, clay or whatever the fuck tennis courts are made out of.
Concrete or grass.
All the same, right? But the dimensions are all the same.
Right.
Golf courses are all different. There's easy courses, hard courses, hard holes, easy holes. So there's so many variables to it. But the ones you see on television in Augusta National, the U.S. Opens and all that are very difficult, very difficult play. The average guy would get smoked. And their egos are, because that's what every time I play with someone, they try to beat me. That's their big thing. I beat the pro, you know what I mean? Their ego. So they'll say, oh, I could play on this and that. It's weird. The golfers, their ego, again, if you're a golfer, don't take this wrong, but they all crazy. Not that, again, I'm not putting them down, but they it's very.
Their ego is thinking, oh, I played at this golf course, this golf course, this golf course, this golf course. And you're just like, yeah, okay, I've played all those too. And then when you bring them out to something like Pebble Beach, and they're just like, holy crap, this is
right. And that's nothing against them, and they're trying, and I get it, right? So if you're a decent golfer, yeah, that's good. That the average golfer can't break 100, which is pretty bad. But
yeah, I mean,
guy. Go ahead.
And it's the same way with being a musician. Which I didn't realize that there's people that get stage fright that are musicians. You put them in front of a large crowd, and they're just like, like what do I do? I mean,
it happened to me the first time I was on TV. I remember. So they call your name. I don't know if it's the first time, but the first time I'm aware of this. First tee, call your name up, and normally we have a routine. We do the same thing every single time you hit a shot. I literally do the same thing, touch my nose, my hat, whatever it is, every time. Because you want a routine, so it's always the same, right? So whether it means $1 million or $0 or whatever it is, you want it the same. Just like a basketball free throw shooter, right? He bounces twice, touches, bang. A baseball player does his gloves, right? It's a routine. A pitcher, same routine.
Yeah.
Golf's a little different. So in the first tee, so I'm ready to go, and you hear your name, and it was the first time again that I recall this. So say I'm 10 feet behind my golf ball, I walk up and I smack it. That 10 feet was like 20 fucking miles. I had a panic attack. It was awful. So you hear your name called, and then everything, it was like I was on mushrooms. It was wild. The stands got bigger and longer. It was the worst feeling I've ever had in my life. Honestly, I thought I was going to pass out. It was awful. And playing a lot of people. I luckily hit a decent shot. It wasn't great, but I got it out there. And the relief for me walking from the tee to my ball was unbelievable pressure. So that's when you see a guy on TV, a golfer, choke. They're thinking too much. You know what I mean? They get in their head, and that's what I did a lot of choking, because I couldn't handle the big stage. I just couldn't. I get as good as I could play. you take me out here outside, I'll go, it's awesome. Now you do that. Again, I wasn't terrible, but I wasn't
No,
at
it
the
just
level of these other
you
guys'
just
brains.
got in your own head.
Right. Um,
Life lessons
it,
by Tom Gillis. Golf courses are like women. Some are easy, but all are about the money. Thank
right.
you, Rita.
Yeah. Can I keep that? Can I quote that?
Yeah.
So true. So true. But yeah, the pressure is there. Whether in musicians too now, the same thing, right? So you get
Yeah.
up there in front of, and all of a sudden you freeze a little bit, even though you're certainly capable of playing the instrument or doing what you got to do. It gets something up here happens, and that's what
Yeah.
choking is. It's not that you suck.
Yeah.
You're
Because
thinking
I
too
had
much.
I had this guitar player that, I never got that. That never bothered me. Which has always been just like, no matter where I would be, I've always never got that sort of stage anxiety. And the guitar player went in the bathroom, was throwing up, like, I can't
Yeah.
eat
Oh
before I
yeah.
play on this.
Yep.
And I think it was a small show. We were opening for Santana, not Santana, but Steppenwolf, at just like a local, larger venue, like an A circuit, because you got A circuit, and then you start going into, D, and just like that further
Right.
down the road. And it's a big room, but he got out there and just all of a sudden he just looks around, and he was like, I and I was like,
Yeah.
listen,
Is that just a one
if
time
you
or
can't
all the
play, I didn't realize it does happen all the time, but in front of a large crowd, it's much
time?
worse for him. Like, he can do it in front of a small crowd, it doesn't bother him. But you get up
Right.
on this stage, I guess it's just intimidating to some people, because you look out and you see, anywhere from, you know, 20 to 30,000 people just looking at you, and you're just like, "Oh shit."
Right.
And this
It's
place was maybe 1,500, something like that, people. It's like not a very big place, but it can be
yeah.
very intimidating seeing that large of a crowd, because it's
Exactly.
nothing but faces, and they're there to see you, and if you
Right.
mess
Right.
up, everybody sees it.
Well, that's the thing in
And I was
golf
like,
now. So when I'm out there playing, I'm on a, it's not a football game where I can hide. If I miss a block, you might not see it,
right.
right? Or bad pass, you can get over it. But in golf, I'm out there 150 yards away, and everyone's watching me. If I hit a shitty shot, I mean, it's like, I mean, you don't really
It's
care,
gonna
to
be
be honest.
front page.
It's right. It really is. Every time you do it. Now the club I'm the pro at and run it. I still play with the members and hang out. They still expect me to be perfect every shot I hit, and you do hit bad shots, but you recover from them, and that's what makes a guy better than others who can handle pressure and not get mad and worry about shit. But it's you're on a stage, and that's hard. It's hard to be perfect every time, and that's what people expect of you. Now, if I went to watch your concert, I wouldn't know if you messed up a note or something. You know what I mean? I'm not
Oh,
that
exactly.
good at understanding what you guys are doing, and I
Golf
like
courses are
watching.
like women. Golf courses are like women, some curvier than others, but the object is to get it in the hole.
Well, Zach is right. That is accurate. He is accurate. But I like watching these musical documentaries, and guys were talking about they put in things by accident for songs and stuff. I forget who it was.
Yeah.
Christopher Cross, one of his songs, he was talking about his brother pressed the wrong button for something for the intro. I forget, and they kept it in
Yeah.
because it sounded awesome. Things like that. And
Well,
how,
and
or was it Queen, like what they did? And now that could all be bullshit, but you watch that Queen movie, whatever, but they were dropping the coins on the drums and making weird noises just to make things sound better with things, they were banging a lamp or something. That to me is
well,
awesome. I love watching the behind the scenes stuff because you don't know that as a golf. I just watch the video or listen to the music and just assume you guys are just, doing it all off the screen. You're not. You're improvising and you're fucking up and leaving it in, or doing the wrong
yeah,
note,
because
leaving it in.
I've heard see, Brendan O'Brien, which is has produced people like Stone Temple Pilots and Pearl Jam and Black Crows. I mean, his list of artists that he's produced is enormous. And he had some old DAT tapes, which are, these a way of recording music, and we were listening to them where I worked at one day, and we were listening to stuff like 311 and Aerosmith, where they were practicing the song so he knew where all the punches were, in case he wanted to bring things in. And there's one where I think it was 311 was doing this song that the lyrics didn't match with what they are now with the song. Like the song was completely different. Like the music was for this, and then the lyrics were for something else. But he said that they worked better together, so they put those two together, and it was one of the most insane things that I've ever heard. I was like, so that was not the original song for it, and I asked him about it. He said, well, that's part of what a producer does. They look at it, they look at what the music is doing, where things are going to fit, and they have faith in me, what I'm doing. They know how to play it already. We just have to get the right lyrics to make the whole thing punch. And I was like, damn, this is like this. People think, oh, anybody can get up there and play music, but producing, no.
That's that Mike. Was it Michael Foster? David Foster, right? He was unbelievable with that stuff, wasn't he? Back with David Foster, Barbara Streisand or something. He was a background player, and they were going to lunch, and he knew that she didn't go to lunch, so he stayed and played his own little riff so she could hear it, so for him to get in the spotlight, catch her ear, because everyone else was at lunch, and she's eating her egg salad sandwich over there. And so he decided to, play some tunes, and she heard him and goes in, what the hell was that? And then they got to talking, and boom, now he's obviously doing great. But, the way, I don't get those buttons you guys are pressing. I don't know. Are those real buttons? It's like there's 50 of them, and this guy's doing this. It was amazing, because I was watching this Geddy Lee guy, who I'm not sure who he is, but I don't know much about him.
He's bass player for Rush.
Okay. He was on 2020. I don't know what he was, but he was with Dan Rather. I saw it on YouTube. I don't know how long ago it was, but he was on YouTube. Dan Rather. And he was talking about certain songs, and just like you're saying about how they have different, but I don't know. It's just amazing what they would minds. You know what I mean? It's probably the same thing with golf with me. It's just, I have a certain knack for teaching golf and helping people where they can hear it. And like I said, I can't tell if you're doing it right or wrong. I love music and all that, but I couldn't tell if you did it wrong unless I heard it many times and it was different. But who cares, right?
Golf,
you keep going, right?
Yeah, but with golf, that's a little bit different because they know whenever you're messing that up. I can understand. It's
so I coached high school golf for a few years. My high school I went to, and the parents, I'd get 100 phone calls. My kid. He's great. Number one, blah, blah, blah. Well, when I was, he's not great. I don't say that to the parents and all, because, everyone's kid is great, right? My kids are all the best at everything, right? But they're not. And you're delusional, I guess. So I'm an expert in golf, but golf is a score. So if you play golf, you shoot a score. Say you play 9 holes, you shoot a 40.
Okay. So
she shoots
what
a
is
45.
that? So what exactly is?
That's how it works.
How does that
scoring system?
How does that? So, and I think I understand part of this. So they've already got it. They already say that, for example, it's going to take you 3 shots to get to this hole. Is that sort of like 3 or 4 shots? And if you make it in 2, then you get a better score. Is that what it is?
Right. So the lowest score counts. So if you play 18 holes, so back in the day when golf was first started, there was no score. There was no scorecard or a par. So par means I guess, is what an expert golfer would shoot in a hole. So say your average hole is 400 yards long. Par 4 is what that would be called. So you have 4 shots basically. 1 off the tee, 1 to get on the green, and then 2 putts equals 4. So that's par. So that's how you judge yourself against others. So if I make a 4, I made a par. If I make a 5, it's a bogey. They call it a birdie. It's a 3. So it's basically, they did that just for scoring purposes so people would know who's doing what, right? But it's basically just so when I go play golf, I don't think about my score. anything. I just hit each shot the best I can, and I add them up at the end. Where the opposite, where everyone else goes to play golf, they're worried about their damn score, and I got to do well and all this. That's why they don't do well. So as a professional, we focus just on that shot. The only thing that matters is that shot. So I hit that the best I can. I go find it. I hit that the best I can. And when I'm done, hopefully that's a 68 or a 4 under par, whatever the score is. So they came up
Right.
with par to help people understand who's winning. So if we're playing in a golf tournament and I tee up at 7 o'clock and you tee up at 2 o'clock and I am 2 under par and you haven't started yet, so people at least have an idea of how people are doing. But basically, golf is just the lowest score wins. You know, that
Gotcha.
par and scoring all got made up for TV to help people know what's going on and just to see how
Yeah, to
you
know.
prepared. But basically, the lowest score wins. So that's what I try to help people when I'm coaching them. You know, you got a 500-yard hole, which is long, compared to a 300-yard hole. Obviously, you're going to have more shots in a 500-yard hole over time, right? But
Right.
you just try to tell people the lowest score wins and just go do the best you can. But there's so much to learn about golf. We could be here forever. And that's what I'm trying to do with my channel is help people understand it. Just the basic stuff. A lot of people already know that. Some people, oh, I already know that. Well, of course you do, but other people don't. So I try to cover everything, even though it's the simplest of things for some, it's complex for others. But you know, but it is fun. I just think about what all these old timers would do without malls and golf and egg salad sandwiches, right? In the
Exactly.
summer they're golfing. In the winter they're at the mall walking around with their New Balance $25 shoes from Shoe Source, and they're hanging out at the what do you call that, the food court, and but without golf, what would these people do? You know, because I remember going out with a girl back in the '90s. She was, again, it lasted 10 minutes. She was this activist. Golf courses are ruining the country and they're breaking the trees and all this stuff. I said, well, maybe that's true, but giving people something to do and enjoy their lives, all these senior citizens. I mean, pickleball, I guess, is good too, but they're all getting their knees replaced with pickleball. And
Yeah.
so golf
Well,
is great.
does that happen on golf too?
The knees,
Doesn't it happen a little bit on golf too? No.
Knees injuries?
Knee-
Oh yeah, I guess
Yep.
if you're doing it wrong, I guess. But I've never had an issue with it. Injuries, golf injuries, anyway. But egg salad thing. You didn't see that egg salad machine earlier that he has
Yeah.
in back with? Where is it? It's over in it's in his closet back there. He makes egg salad sandwiches with a machine. It's like a popcorn machine, but for egg salad.
Yeah.
You scoop
For
up.
egg salad. So it's sort of like you seen this interview with Judge Brown, right? Glorious.
But I gotta ask you about Kamala Harris. How you feel about her?
She's a piece of shit. I was in California. She lacked professional competence, and she worked on it by hiking up her hemline when she needed influence rather than researching. She's always tried to do the casting couch to get where she wants. Now, the problem is that'll get somebody to a certain level quickly, but you can't get past that level if you don't have competence and talent. So my thing about it is if I'm crude about it, in this city years ago, I used to represent a whole bunch of pimps and hoes, and I know a hoe when I see one. And I say this, I don't care, women, you do what you want to do if you want to have recreational sex, but when you do the casting couch or anything else for professional purposes to get paid or advance, you a hoe. And she's old hoe. And the problem is what is she supposed to do? Somebody, one of her sycophant slaves comes up and unwraps her in a carpet naked at Putin's feet, and he says, oh yeah, I'm Julius Caesar. He said, no, ho, I got better stuff here already. Plus, I don't want you anyway, you old woman. Get on up.
That's awesome.
You know, or Xi Jinping, is he supposed to be impressed? She's doing word salad. Well, we're here today because China and the U.S. are here today, and that's why we have to agree on what we're doing here today. Like, fool, what did you just say? You know, did you say anything?
Was that legit? Was
That was,
that AI?
yeah. That was Judge Joe
That was
Brown.
real?
Yeah. That was the
Wow.
Judge
He's the
Brown
one-
did like
the one
a Yeah, he was on a TV. He had his own
got a helmet?
TV. But he was.
He's
This
like
is pretty.
Judge Judy type thing, right?
Yeah, but Judge Joe Brown. Yeah.
Now he
Oh,
got a
he
helmet
was.
scrubbed from her, or no? Who did she? Did
No,
she
he
bang
just
him?
knew the kind of person
No,
she
no.
was because he was
I
an
love the way you
actual
did.
judge. I mean, he was an
I
actual judge in the justice system, and then he had like his own little TV show, but he was an
right.
actual judge, and he said, I practiced all over the state of California, and she's the kind of person that it was all about advancing. It wasn't about doing the right thing.
And that's what we want for
And
our leaders. Someone who'll give a helmet scrub to move up a couple notches, right?
yeah,
I can't stand watching her. I can't even look. I mean, she might be. How did she get this job? What was she before this?
she was
What
she was a senator. Yeah, she worked in Congress or some crap like that, but she was a prosecutor. And what if you do a deep dive on it? She went from being she never passed the bar. I mean, I think it was the baby bar that she passed, but she basically sucked her way up the ladder. No, I mean, and it's just well known. I mean, she performed better on her hands and knees, according to quite a few people like Montel Williams. That was his little side piece for a while.
Really?
Yeah. No, she's and she's always she was the AG of California. Like if you listen to and I think I've got them somewhere. Her her debates with people, she sucks. Like she cannot debate her way out of a wet paper bag.
And she's going to try this tonight, right?
Yeah. Well, and she's had to tone down on her laugh and try to say things that are intelligent. That's why they're saying that they're not going to. Nobody's going to have the answers beforehand, the questions beforehand. I doubt it.
Well, he's going to come up right. I mean, I get it. So they're being asked by a moderator the questions, right? But he can always say something to throw her off. I'm assuming he's going to do that, right? If they
they'll have him muted. They'll have him muted.
What station is it on? Who's running it? Is it CNN?
I believe it's ABC. ABC, yeah.
And they lean more to the left, I'm assuming, right?
Oh,
or no?
Name one TV station that does not go to the left. Just say it.
Cartoon Network.
Cartoon, exactly. And they're getting taken over, but no, because you look at Fox News, they're left. I mean,
they've changed. For sure, yeah.
Oh
Things
God,
yeah.
They try to say that they're more to the right, Or like, no, we saw you call it
right because the people on the right
they called Arizona before all the votes were even like 2% in. They were just like, Arizona has it.
I remember that.
Calm down, stop.
That was the same night I went to bed at 2 thinking he won, and I woke up and he lost. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Same night.
It's not host shaming. I've got here.
I love hosts.
This explains Kamala right here.
Right. If you're going after Officer Harris, you're either racist or sexist or ableist.
Right.
So they will use
ableist.
Yeah, because she's a retard. She's literally retarded. I mean, Ukraine is a country in Europe, and Russia is another country and a powerful country, and Russia invaded Ukraine, and that's wrong.
What's really important is what can be unburdened by what has been.
I think of her as America's wine mom, because the bitch seems like she's 3 deep by noon, and she's got the 3 phases of wine mom. She's got happy drunk. Oh my God, this cereal's got a rabbit on it. It's so great. Cackling. Then there is trying to drunk at work, where you're trying to make sense, but you don't. Space is around us all and unites us all and inspires us all. And then there's I'm being stern so you don't realize how plastered I am. And I'm making a point. God. That little girl was me. Now I'm going to go upstairs and don't knock on the door because I'm going to pass out. So those are her 3 ways she talks, and those are the wine mom phases.
Do you think they have her medicated? Because there was a guy that was speculating that some of the things that she says, the way she's sort of disconnected sometimes, And
I don't
she
know
goes
what-
on these rambles that it's
I don't
indicative of certain anti-anxiety medication. I do not know if this is true. See if you can
Wow.
find that, because really
That
shouldn't
would
say
make
that
s-
about
that would
our
make s-
future president.
Wow. That's so. Who's her running mate? Does she have a running mate? Oh, Tim Wall.
Yeah, Tim
Right?
Walls or whatever his name
Walls.
is. He's an idiot.
So realistically, there's zero chance of her winning, right?
No,
Right?
there's like I would say there's a 99.9% chance that she wins.
But realistically, she can't. She
Realistically.
shouldn't be winning. Real
No,
world,
she shouldn't
has
be.
nothing-
She shouldn't even be coming close. She
So
should not
does
even be
Vegas
coming
put
close.
odds on this? Does Vegas get involved with these odds or anything? Because I would imagine they don't. Because
there
if they
is
really put
voting
out
odds out there. Oh, they've got.
they've never
there-
wrong. I bet a lot, and they're never wrong. I mean, you've given up 21.5, and I lose by fucking 20. Happens all the time. So I was wondering why they don't put out odds about this, because they probably can't. You know, or
No,
they've.
there's what is it? The Poly Network. I think it's the Poly Network has put out odds, and it's on everything. Like it is insane. Like how many times Camel Toe is gonna say, I mean it's a thing. Like what are the big speaking points they're gonna be talking about? You know, what's Camel Toe gonna say? What is Trump gonna say? And the odds are just like insane.
I'm on DraftKings right now. I can't find it, but
not DraftKings. It's
I know.
Poly Network.
Of course. I'm just being a douche, but
but
you would think Vegas would come up with odds for real odds, but they probably can't do it because, like you said, 99% she's going to win because of chicanery. But I wish the people in Vegas would come up with the real odds, and we could see it somehow. Because if she's running the country, she can't run a fucking Dunkin' Donuts. No offense to Dunkin' Donuts people, it's a hard job, but she couldn't do that. She couldn't run my country club. She couldn't be a hoe.
Yeah.
She stopped being a hoe, right? She couldn't even do that, and that's easy.
It's called Poly Market is
and egg salad sandwiches.
I wonder if I could pull this up. Let's see if I could pull this
I've
because I've only heard of it.
But I mean, I've lost so much money by half a fucking point in Vegas. I mean, it's crazy. They don't always get it right, but they're pretty damn good with these odds. You know, winning by 38.5, they win by 38, or whatever the way they're going. I mean,
so here's how they have it, and she just keeps dropping. Like Poly Market has Trump winning by 52%, her at 46%. Shows what states where she's leading, where she's losing. Like
now,
Georgia.
Has anyone ever asked you about this? Has anyone asked you who you're voting for on these polls? No one's ever called me up and asked me, but who are they asking? Like who people they're asking? Are they just hanging out down on the street corner?
No, this isn't a poll.
Oracle and Microsoft.
No, this is not a poll. This is.
Oh, it's not. They just.
This is the gambling site. This is where everybody is placing bets on who's going to win. So they've got Trump in the lead, Harris, and Biden is like. Yeah.
Oh, so this is just people clicking. Like when I bet on DraftKings, I click on the Celtics, whatever. This is the same thing. Wow.
Yeah. So they've got Kamala winning the popular vote at 69%. They're voting on Trump and Harris shake hands at the first debate, 29%. Chance of event. They're just showing chance of event. Will Biden resign before the election? Somebody won something on that.
So Biden is still the president, right? She's not.
Yeah.
She's not the president yet, right?
No, she's not the president.
He's still president. He didn't give that up. Okay, good. Because I wonder if that would help her more if he stepped down and then she became it.
Yeah, I mean they've got the Senate being taken over by the Republicans, the Democrats, like a little bit closer in the House, but Yeah, they vote on everything. They show the states everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out later. So people really aren't voting for her; they're voting against him, right? That's pretty much what it is. You know,
That's
you know
what
what I
it.
mean? The Trumpers, and I mean, she's literally not qualified to do mow the lawn in a
Oh,
cemetery over here. She can't do it,
well, I mean,
and she's gonna tree.
well,
I get nothing
she,
against women, black, any women. If they're
well,
qualified, let them do
she
it. But I don't think she
she
is.
does have issues with black women. You know,
She's she's not black though, right? She's like South
she's
African or something.
no, she's Indian, and her father's was Jamaican. So I would say
So
like,
if you're black, that means you're African American. That's what black is, right? So if you're from India, you're not black, right? You're Indian. Again, I hope I'm not pissing
well,
anyone
no,
off. I just don't know that answer.
well, and so I could be wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, like in what was it in Jamaica, that was run by the French or the English for quite a period of time. So there's always a possibility that she's got some, royalty in her blood. You never know.
Yeah,
Because
Royal Ho,
royal ho. But
Royal Ho.
her mother being
Those are
from
the best.
India, that's completely different. Because I mean, then the culture's a lot different there also. I mean, my wife has
Yeah.
a few friends that are Indian, and it's just like, well, it depends on it's sort of like a tribe, what tribe you're from, or like different, almost like more class warfare. It's crazy. You got to be going pretty soon there, Tom.
No,
I
I
want to keep
text. I'm a very important person. I get a million texts a day. I'm just
okay,
kidding.
I just
No,
want to make sure.
my sister's giving me just give you a heads up on time. So I have to go nowhere. No, actually, I do have to go somewhere. So I need to get advice from you before I go. And Diane G
Okay.
kind of mentioned it on buying equipment. I need to get a new computer. Obviously, this
Okay.
one sucks. My microphone sucks. My camera sucks. I just maybe afterwards you can give me some heads up on what to get
Easily.
for good equipment here. But so so if Jamaica is part of the United Kingdom, so if you're Jamaica, you're English, or are you Jamaican?
I don't know. I mean, it all. I mean, you're
I
Jamaican.
did Jamaica. I went to Jamaican Open 1991. But did I? Are they? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because
Are they
so her mother is Indian, her father is Jamaican, and they were both Marxist professors, and for college.
really?
They also, yeah, and she grew up in Canada, so she was born in the United States but grew up in Canada.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean they moved to Canada whenever she was a child. But they don't talk about that because it's like, oh well, she's full on American. It's like, no, she's a hoe. She came back to the United States, moved back to California, and probably was in Oakland for a period of time. But yeah, a lot of her time was spent in Canada. That's why I think she has a lot of the beliefs that she has.
So how do you become a Marxist professor? How do you do that?
They taught Marxism. That's what they taught was Marxism. I mean, it wasn't
class?
a Marxist. Yeah.
Did they teach robbing and stealing and murder?
Back in the 60s and 70s, that was really big. I mean, Marxism was a way of life for them. I mean, because you had like the Black Panthers, you had all of the college students, no different than you have now. That everybody's like protesting the Free Palestine and protesting at colleges. Outside groups get paid money to show up and do this stuff. Because you got to get their minds whenever they're young. Because if you wait until they're older, then they have actual thought where they're just like, yeah, I don't buy into your bull crap.
See, that's where the parent thing comes in, because I have 3 kids, one in college, one in high school, and one just graduated, and they're all on our side. And because I spend time with them and talk to them, and again, I let them make their own decisions, but to some degree, obviously, but that's where it starts, at home, right? So I guess parents were Marxists, so she had no choice. Holy fuck!
Well,
You
uh,
know,
how how
brainwashed.
how do these kids end up like that? I mean, a lot of it is because they want to be rebellious, and they see that, oh, you know, my dad, he was a drunk piece of shit and beat my mom, so anything that he believed, I've got to believe opposite. Or my dad made so much money, but he didn't pay enough attention to me, or he didn't love me enough, so I'm going to rebel just to show him I'm going to go eat carpet, you know, whatever it might be. Just like it's just, you know, because they want to go against everything that their parents stand for. I mean,
Right.
I,
Yeah,
we all rebelled at some point.
yeah, to some degree. Again, I was lucky my parents played golf, and the whole family was in the golf world and business. So, but back then when I was young, politics was not even anything there was no Twitter or none of this shit. Obviously, we played street hockey all day and wiffle ball, and there was no politics. Didn't even care about it. I mean, I know who Ronald Reagan was and Carter. You know what I mean? But you didn't. It's nothing
Yeah.
like it is now. And I'm sure they were protesting in colleges back then, but you don't hear
Well,
about it
also,
because there was no Twitter.
we didn't understand at the time how bad Carter was as kids. Our parents did. You know, whenever they're paying for gas to get to, you know, to take the
Right.
family vacation, whenever they're paying their home mortgage, which is, you know, 17 to 20% interest rate.
Right.
I mean, people understood how bad it had gotten. And that's what made it so easy for Reagan to come in. But before that, nobody seemed to know. Nobody understood that, because that wasn't, we as kids, we didn't think about that. We weren't supposed to be thinking about it. We were supposed to be going and playing wiffle ball and you know,
Right.
you know, shooting each other with BB.
You know, and it's funny and that's another thing with all this social media. As good as it is, we can do our fun stuff and have fun and do that, but it's also scary because you got the people that they're sheltered and they don't know what's going on. They're getting their information from here, not their parents, right? Again, I
Right.
love my kids, but hopefully they're not, well, she's watching, but this phone is attached to her hand, literally. And I love you, honey, if you're watching, but the phone is attached to her hand. And I'm on my phone a lot too, for more business, I guess,
Work.
than
Yeah,
pleasure. If
work,
that makes any
business.
sense.
Yeah.
But again, I do watch funny videos here and there, but and I have to watch. And again, it's all for business. It's not for,
Right.
you know, I'm certainly not getting my politics off of this and all that. But some people
No,
are. Maybe their parents aren't paying attention to what they said, right?
well, and
I'll
you
show
know,
you.
a lot of people say, hey, you must do all kinds of prep to come in and do this kind of thing, because I do a show in the morning, do a show at night. I joke not, when they're in the morning, all I have to do is just pull up any news article off of any established paper, and you can pretty much read between the lines by what they're saying, because you know what is already true. You know that this is true. You know that this is a lie. And then whenever you start reading it, you're going, okay, where is this news information coming from? Well, this is coming from this company. Well, what's the name of this company? You pull it up, and all of a sudden you're looking at going, oh, their main core responsibility is for diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's their main goal. Okay, so I can't trust a word that this news story is saying, because they're propaganda.
It's already been
How hard is
painted. Absolutely.
it's not hard for me to do that in the morning. And whenever I leave and I shut down from doing YouTube, I work. I have a job that I work, anywhere from 10 to 16 hours a day. And then I do a stream at night. I spend time with my wife, during the day, because we work together. So it's just what I do. So it's not like this big difficult where I stress out about YouTube.
Right.
And there's probably a few people that saw the thing with Tug last night, which he is absolutely awesome. But it's one of those where these people come in and they want to tell me how to do YouTube. Like, if you do X, Y, or Z, I'm just like, you realize that this YouTube doesn't mean that much to me. I have fun and I enjoy the company and the chat and doing this,
Right,
but it's
right,
not like this doesn't pay the bills. This is
right.
like
No,
entertainment
no,
for me.
right, right.
So
No, I get
if people are thinking, oh, you're gonna, you could build your channel up to have 1 million subscribers, it's like, unless it
you. Right,
translates to bucks, that
right.
ain't jack. And
It's
to get
not
there,
worth
you
it,
have to.
right?
It's like being a musician. You have a lot of work to do. It is an uphill
It's
climb,
a job.
and
No, to do this full time is a job, a commitment. I mean, I just make my own
right,
videos. They're half-assed, but the information's good. What I'm
exactly
talking about is good. I'm not. Again, I'm using my phone. I don't know how to edit. I'm a golf. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to just give good information. Everyone's, oh, you have these graphics, and again, my camera sucks and my things suck. That's different. That's fixable, and I want these people to hear me and do
right.
it right. But in terms of the editing and funny intros, I don't know how to do all that stuff. I just don't know how to do it, and I don't have time to do it maybe either. But
It
again, I want to put out
it
a
is
good product,
time
but the information is what counts. And half the golf channel people that do golf videos, like golf channels, I guess, they're hitting golf balls through a phone book or a watermelon and juggling. They're not,
they're not teaching
or you
golf
know what I mean? They're
at
not
all.
help. There are some, of course, but a lot of them, the famous ones are, lighting the ball on fire and hitting it off a girl's ass or whatever they're doing. And I'm not going to do that. Everyone's going, oh, you're going to do something crazy. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I try to have fun and joke, yes, and be kind
Right.
of wild, I guess. But I'm not, you know what I mean?
No,
I don't
you
need it
want to
that bad.
see.
You know,
You're what if I wanted to get involved in golf, you're the kind of person that I would be searching out, because that's, you're giving actual instruction and not just
correct.
showboating it.
Right, exactly. And so I do online lessons and coaching. So this is my business and my job. And people send me their videos. It's cheaper to do it over the online than in person, obviously. But um, it's the information is what you want, right? Like you said, I'm not
Right.
juggling chainsaws, and maybe in the future I'll do some fun stuff just for fun. But that's not the thing of my
Yeah, that's not the
channel. And
core.
like, and you can talk back to me. So if you buy a certain membership, whatever, if you prepare for a golf tournament, call me up, and I call people up. They call me Sunday night. They got a tournament tomorrow. What? Don't do this, do that, and there's more to it than that. And I'm one of the only ones that you can actually talk to. These other people aren't going to talk to you or call you back. Again, I don't have a
No.
million subscribers. If I did, I probably couldn't get to everybody, obviously. But that's what I like doing
Yeah.
and helping people. Oh, your video is this, or you should do that. And I'm like, half my videos are from 20 years ago, but I just did them.
Yeah.
I used to work for a TV station in Boston. I did a sports zone, it was called. I was a golf guy. This was like 94 to 2002. So I have those videos. Again, they're older, but the information is still accurate. And they went, oh, you got to do this and that. I'm like, maybe someday.
No.
I don't, it's not that important to me. I want to put out a good product, of course, but thank you, Russ. I appreciate it. But the information's good. And that's what I care about,
That is all that really matters, is just having the good information.
Right. You see those thumbnails and the guy's got the perfect white teeth and the thing and this, and mine's just me like, because I don't know how to do it.
Like, we should do just fine. I mean,
and who cares, right? The thumbnail, who gives a shit? You're not learning from a thumbnail.
No, the information inside of it is what's important. And everybody, I've got Tom Gillis's link up there, and it's pinned in the
Thank you, my
chat.
friend.
Yeah, make sure you go check that out, and it's one of those where you need to have the folks be able to see, that there's good instruction out there, and sure, you can have like the guys that are out there got hitting the golf ball off the ass, but does that help out on your swing?
No,
I mean, who would you rather have teaching you how to play golf? Happy Gilmore or Tom Gillis?
Exactly.
Like, guys swing is off all over the place.
Now. Right. There's a few women. It was more than a few, and this one girl, and she's probably 22. I don't know how. She's pretty. She's young.
Yep.
Literally wearing nothing. Literally.
Yeah.
I don't know how they let her on the golf course. I mean, if you're a horny young dude, that's the channel for you. She's not going to learn anything because it's the same every time. She's just showing her tits and her ass hitting a golf ball. That's it.
Yep.
There's no, this is how you do it. Or give fitness tips on how to have nice tits or something. I don't know, do something. But she just hits the ball and a million people watch. It's the same every single time, except she's wearing a different outfit or no outfit. Good for her. She's making money. God bless her. But, you know, and again, like you said, I'm not dwelling on it either. I don't get upset, or I do it for fun.
Yeah.
But I also do it. It is my business, and it grows my business for sure. But I could get hot chicks on my channel. For what? What is that going to prove me?
So what? You end up with this right here. This is what you end up with.
That's her. That's her. That's the girl I'm talking about. That's all you see every video. That's the girl I'm talking about. And there's
how is she helping your swing?
What's that? She's not. She's just you know what she's good for. That's it.
Exactly.
You know, but
how is that helping your swing?
If you do that for that, then you got a problem, right? I mean, I'm not going to be. You know what I mean?
It's great. It's great to watch, but that isn't going to help me. You know.
Right, and good for Grace. And Grace, if you want to come on my, no, I'm just kidding. I guess if you want to hit me up. No,
you want to hit me up, Grace.
But there's more than her,
and I'm sure she's actually really a nice person. I mean, but you know,
she's doing it, and again, would I do that? Would I want my daughter to do that? No, but
no,
she's doing it, and I'm sure she's making a living doing it, and good for her. But eventually,
so if your daughter was making $10 million a video, would you say, sweetheart, go ahead and keep doing it?
I wouldn't let her do it. I said I wouldn't want her to do it. Now, if she's cutting me in on that 10 million, honey, take your top off. No, I'm kidding. 100% joking there.
Oh, she helps your stroke.
Other ways, other things you can do on the internet besides watching her for that, but
yeah, I mean, I've only seen her because she shows up on my feed every so often. I was like, okay, she's cute, but what?
That's it. Again, she is. She's pretty. She's cute. She's probably a nice person, like you said. But as a golf channel, she could just be standing there. She didn't need a golf club. What does she need a golf club for, right? How about tennis? She should get a tennis racket or bowling ball or an egg salad sandwich machine, something different. Because it's the same fucking golf swing every time with the thing up her ass and her tits hanging out. It's literally the same. Then she'll do a different hole. Oh, I'm going to hit this ball. Great. Get a tennis racket, bowling ball, something different.
Or wear something less. Or I don't know. I mean, sure she does that too.
You don't see any guys doing that, right? I don't think.
I mean, I don't know. There is the expert. There is the expert. He gets on there and looks good. Yeah, girls like that. No, he just shows up. The ladies go wild over him. I can't help it.
See, you're right. So Heidi Press is right. See, her dad, who has an issue, plays golf, and that's that girl back in the '90s. Oh, your golf's ruining the world. The trees, the fucking animals, the pesticides. Actually, the pesticides for golf courses have gotten more, organic and better for sure. There's no doubt. I'm sure they're not all perfect, but it is definitely better environment. Like my course has environmental areas you can't literally step foot in. Your ball could be 2 inches in there, and if you stick your hand in, they'll scream at you. So it does have have benefits.
I work pipeline construction, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
no doubt. I'll get a call and oh, I'm coming out with my dad. He can't play, but can he ride around? A lot of places say no, because he's not paying and he's a liability if something happened to him. Because once you pay, it's like going to the Red Sox game. You get hit by a ball, it's your own fault, right? Same thing in golf. Once you pay to play, you've hurt yourself. It's your own fault. It's kind of an agreement. So this guy's not paying, and again, I'm like, bring them out. Are you shitting me? Of course. Or their mother or their grandmother. That guy's getting out of the house to watch his kids play golf or whatever. Of course, take him out. I have no problem with that. Never did, never will. I don't charge the guy. The to take a car. You know what I mean? And that's awesome for people. So what you get on the fucking mall? They go to the mall all winter. What else are they? Nice.
What we're
All
gonna do is-
right. You
Yeah.
moved up to #1 fan, Russ.
There you go. Yeah, Russ is awesome.
#1 fan.
All right.
I'll make some.
Love it.
I appreciate it. That's
No,
weird.
we're gonna kick this thing down here a notch, and we're gonna say goodbye to everybody. And usually I go a little bit longer, but I do have a busy day, and I'm sick. And tonight, be doing the debate. Make sure you go check out Tom on Sundays is whenever you're releasing your videos. Go check out Tom. His link is over there in the chat.
Excellent. And I'm hoping to do, and Diane is going to help me with that, Sunday night live and like a Wednesday night live at some point here, once I get my new computer.
I'll help you out with that.
All my,
we'll talk. We'll hang out.
This is just crap. Yeah. I gotta go. I gotta go do that for sure, because I can't do it with this stuff. Legitimately.
Yeah. We'll make it happen. Everybody have a wonderful day. Hang out for a little bit, Tom, and we'll see you guys very soon. Peace, y'all.
Thanks, everyone. Good to see y'all.
Now I gotta call somebody to come get me because my car turned into a spaceship and I don't know how to fly it. I'm not an astronaut.